Greetings, Piper here. Come join me on my trip from Virginia to New Mexico using full self-driving in my Tesla Model Y.
All right, it's Saturday morning, and I am at the Cumberland Mountain campgrounds, which is where I spent the night. I got in here just before dark, which was great. I got to set up my bed and find a campsite. Well, the campsite I had reserved. I reserved it ahead of time. This is an RV spot. Unfortunately, it's pretty slanted, so I had to sort of park the best that I could to get as level of a sleeping area as I could manage. Wasn't great. Sort of got a little bit crunched down there at the bottom of the car, but that's all right. It works. I had a good sleep, and I'm getting ready to go. I've made myself a cup of coffee. Got a nice little camp stove. The rest of the campsite is starting to wake up, so I'm going to get out of here. Time to unplug. So right there, I'm hooked up to the 50 amp circuit. And I charge to 95% since I'm heading out. And the reason I don't go to 100% is to preserve some regenerative braking. I don't like the way the car feels when it's at 100%. I have to use the brakes, and I'd rather not. So I leave myself a little room there for regeneration, and that's how I make it work. So on the road. Cumberland Mountain State Park is where I am. I think it cost me $40 for the night. With taxes and everything, it was 30 something. And to me, that's a full charge and a place to sleep, a restroom to take advantage of in the morning. It's not bad. So I got full self-driving taking me out of the campsite now. I've got a large cup of coffee I put together at the campsite. I should. Oh, that was wow. That was a little weird. It was a spot in the road is really what it was. As far as the car knew, it was a pothole, and it avoided it. I'm okay with it. I'd rather it avoided holes like that than run through them, to tell you the truth. I tend to drive like that a little bit when I'm around potholes. I just wasn't ready for it. We're driving chill. I don't know what the law is like around here. So we're 2 miles over the speed limit. So this is another one of those Conservation Corp projects. And it turns out that there was a whole bunch of that right around here, a homesteading cooperative even. But again, around the time of the war, World War II, they abolished all that stuff. So I'm finding that there was a bit of that around. There really was a strong cooperative, almost what you would say socialist movement in this country that was systematically disbanded, just like public transportation was. That's really starting to irk me a little bit. Just how manipulated we are to be serfs, to be paying into their system of oil and production. And ever-ending consumption. Never owning anything that's of any value, that's worth keeping, that's worth passing down from generation to generation. You've lost that. Everything, what do you have that you would want to pass down to your great-great-grandkids that would mean anything to them? Maybe your home. Maybe. Depending on the home, depending on how well it was constructed, where it was constructed, how sustainable it is. Does it have good water? Is it able to produce its own electricity? Can you grow food there? The things I think while I'm on the road. So yes, now my next, well, they're going to have me go into a Supercharger here. That might be a Buc-ee's, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, let's see. Tesla Supercharger, Wildersville. They charge by the minute? No, I don't think I want to go there. Tesla Superchargers, 325 max. This car just slowed down because of the 45 mile per hour speed limit change, which is good. I want it to honor the speed limits around here. Last thing I want is to be stopped by a cop in Tennessee early in the morning. Just don't want to deal with it. It's a sweet area, nice little lake there. Supply a slight front turning force. Interstate 40 this way. There goes Discover Tennessee, the promised land I'm on, going on South 292. Yeah, that's the way we came in. I remember this. So I'm getting started just around 7 o'clock in the morning. This run to Lake Eufaula in Oklahoma, my next reserved campsite, is a 10-hour drive. So I'm going to be getting there right around, probably after dark, which is okay. I wanted to get to Cumberland Mountain State Park before dark because I haven't set up my camp yet. I haven't rolled out the bed and made everything ready to, to be comfortable. Reminding where everything is, put everything in the right spot for camping. Now that's that done, that won't be that much of an issue. I'll be able to make my tea, maybe cook something. We'll see how I feel. I didn't feel like cooking last night. I just had some bread and cheese. Ooh, we actually slowed down for crows. So they were eating something on the road. A lot of deer on this trip on the way down. I saw a lot of dead deer. A lot of roadkill. It's amazing to me sometimes how much roadkill I see. Also, we can drive on dead land. 'Cause that's what asphalt is, right? That's why we put asphalt down. Kill anything that could possibly grow under it. So we have nice, unobstructed roads, places to drive our cars, so we can burn the petroleum, so that we can pay the oil barons. Hey, we got joggers. All right, I'm not going to record the whole time I'm driving. That would be silly. So here it is, Saturday morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, on my way to charging station just short of Memphis. I'll be going through Nashville in just a little bit. Not stopping. The goal is to get to New Mexico as soon as possible while still being comfortable. I could just drive straight through, but no, I don't want to do that anymore. I used to do that. I used to drive New Mexico to Asheville, North Carolina. Straight shot. Not stopping for sleeping at all. If I did, it would be just a quick little nap. back of my Volvo station wagon. On to I-40. Here we go. On the road again. It's one of the things I like about Cumberland State Park as a Tesla charging spot for road trips. Decent facilities. I mean, it's a state park. You know, they're a little funky, but they're not. But you know, it's perfectly clean and clean enough. Obviously, you know, kept up, and generally nice people, you know, are around, you know, that go camping. A lot of kids with flashlights at night, things like that. All right, we're in chill. I'm going to change this to standard because people are moving around here. We're at 70 miles per hour. We do not want to be in people's way. Let's move that on over. We're now in standard. So standard, I usually expect to sit right around 7 miles over the speed limit. Right now we're cruising at 75. Just got passed. But I'm sitting in a little pocket here between two semis that look like that's what their target speed is. Which isn't a terrible place to be. And there is a Buc-ee's here, so I could have gotten charged at the Buc-ee's. But like I said, I prefer sleeping at the campground at Cumberland. Right, next step on my video log here. I just charged. Fast stop is what it was called. Still haven't figured out how much I was charged. I was charged $15.89. Not too bad, not as bad as I thought, because it was weird pricing schedules. It was by time, not by kilowatt. It was like, all right. Also depended on how many kilowatts you got. It was a 325 kilowatt station, one of the newer ones. I was hooked up for 30 minutes. I bought 52 kilowatts, and it cost me, pay attention to the road, $15.89. So that took me to a little bit under 80%, which is supposedly enough to get me to the next charge, which is at Pinecrest on the other side of Memphis. So that's what I'm doing. Basically just letting FSD do the work. A couple of weird experiences dodging spots in the road. Could have been a pothole, wasn't, but could have been. One really weird where tried to dodge the painted insignia on the road. Outside of Nashville, there was a section of road where they had interstates insignias on the road to tell you which lane to be in, and the car flipped out and almost tried to dodge the insignia on the road, but there were cars on either side, so it sort of had a little nervous breakdown there. Didn't do anything that, you know, would cause me any damage or danger other than feeling uncertain. You can feel it in the car where there's this tension to where it's turning, both wheels are going both, not understanding which way to go, and you can feel it in the car. It's a jerkiness sort of feeling, and it is definitely unsettling at some level, but I could tell what it was doing, and I just let it ride, and it worked it out, no problem. I was ready to take control, which you need to be at any time anyway. That's just, this is an assistant. It's not, you know, the driver. It's not your slave. It's a helper. And as a helper, it's really good. I really like it that I'm not having to, you know, put any pressure on the accelerator pedal right now. So what time is it? It's 10:30, so 7 o'clock. So, you know, a few hours since my last update on this trip across I-40 to New Mexico. I'm seeing more color in this area. I guess I'm a little bit further south. I don't know, so there's more leaves still on the trees. You know, even in some of the deciduous, there's still some green on some deciduous trees. So that's nice. I'm getting lots of, it's a windy day, and so there's constant flurry of leaves in the air, which is kind of nice. It's a little bit different. Oh, I didn't want, I just realized I didn't do the windshield. Yeah, it is one of the things about doing chargers. You don't have that sort of stuff right there. You can walk over and get it and bring it back. There was a gas station there. I'm assuming they had windshield wiper washers, you know, squeegees. Wanted to do that. I am getting some bug sticks that the wipers themselves aren't getting off, which is good to see. You know, I want to be smashing some bugs as I go cross country. If there aren't any bugs, we're all dead. The amount of dead animals, though, wow. I have seen over a dozen deer. There goes one right now. All in various stages, most of them looking pretty fresh. I have no idea how, you know, we talk about birds and windmills. What about deer and highways? Anyway. A lot of homeless meat there, I see. There should be some way of dealing with that. That's the way I see it. Another entry on my vlog for my trip to New Mexico in my Tesla Model Y Juniper. The stop that the Tesla map had pegged out for me was at the Supercharger Pinecrest, and I'm still going to go for that, but it was having me arrive there at like 6%, 5%. And I'd rather not do that. So I just stopped at this charger that I'm at now, and to get something. I'm at the market at Wolf Creek for 36 cents a kilowatt. I'm now taking it up. I've only been here 6 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. It'll by the time I hook, and then it's going to get me to 20% at Pinecrest at the next stop, which I feel better about. So that's what I'm doing right now at the Wolf Creek Market, and I just did a little 7-minute charge. It was kind of close to the highway, so I knew it was going to take me much to go to get it, and that way I just feel a little bit more comfortable keeping my battery up above 20%. And that's what I'll do for my next charge, which is at 33 cents a kilowatt, which is the lowest I've seen on this trip so far. So I'll definitely take a full charge there. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm moving on. Well, I'm over the Mississippi River right now, entering into Arkansas. Just came through Memphis. Oh, look at my hair. I should do something about it. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter, really. Yeah. Over the Mississippi River. Looking kind of tame right there. See, this is all floodplain here, though. All right, yeah, I'm in Arkansas. I'm 1 hour away from my next charging spot. And it looks like I'm coming in at 22%. And I'm listening to Willie Nelson playing the Grateful Dead. It's a trip. I'm still on the trip to New Mexico in my Tesla Model Y 2026. I just left Brinkley, Arkansas. Where I was able to get kilowatts at 31 cents, so I filled up. I'm at 92% right now. Cost me $16.56. Of course, we're full self-driving. And we're in a little bit of a convoy jam here. So I can't see how many minutes I was there. It doesn't have that sort of information at this charging from this charging spot. But Brinkley, Arkansas, 1656. There was a food giant there that's got some groceries. I got some Olipop burritos. Really kind of surprised by the food choices. Organic? What's organic? I didn't see anything. Kraft, the major big brands. Nothing. Whole wheat bread. There was Dave's, a couple of loaves of Dave's. Who knows how long they were sitting there. That's it. It was really no dark chocolate. No dark chocolate. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the food giants there. There's also a small, there's a couple other places. There's a Chinese food restaurant and some other things there. I suppose you could take advantage if you ate that kind of crap. There is a Subway, road food all around, but there is a grocery store. That's the key, because at least you can have some sort of selection to get something else other than road food. Okay, so it's still on the way. I've got another 2 hours and 45 minutes before I get to the Supercharger at Hart's Food Store. Expected to have only 13% at that point. It'll be close to 5 o'clock. And then if I charge there for 9 minutes, I can get to the lake with 15%. And that's my target arrival energy is Eufaula Lake at 15%, and then I'll hook up. So one more charge stop, 9 and a short one. So get me across Arkansas on that one charge. So here I go, Highway 40, moving across Arkansas. Almost winced on that one. The pieces of tires, the car's recognizing them, and when they're in the way, when along the line of the wheels, it will dodge. But it makes it a little bit nervous when they're in the middle. But that one was just in the middle, and we went over it, which it didn't, because we had a truck on the side and the side of the road, rumble strip on the left, so it was the right choice. It's interesting to see how it's processing that kind of stuff. I am driving in standard 75 mile per hour speed limit here, so we're cruising at 80. A lot of green on the trees here. I guess we're at a lower elevation. There's yellows and oranges and stuff, but there's more green leaves. Maybe didn't get as much of the wind that we got on the East Coast, though it does seem pretty breezy right now. So it's definitely been a nice fall trip in terms of the foliage. I assume that when I go back in 2 weeks, it should be pretty well more winterish looking. Anyway, so I'm at the Alma, Arkansas Tesla Supercharger. This is one of those good ones with the new ones with the 325 kilowatt chargers. I didn't take a full charge at all here. I paid $8.40 on 20. I only hooked up for 10 minutes. Bought 28 kilowatts. So I don't know what they charged me a kilowatt here. Let's see, what did they charge? That's not bad. Not bad at all. But I've got an hour and a half to the lake. Night turns upon me. So it's definitely, I'm not going to get there before dark. That's out of the question. There is a restaurant here, a Mexican restaurant, that I'm thinking maybe I'll go and check out. I don't know. I do have stuff I could eat, cook, but it's going to be after dark. I haven't decided. So, that's what's happening here. There's a really nice market here, Harp's Market. It's a typical grocery store, but fairly good selection. And other things in Arkansas. A lot of Chargers here. Not that many, a lot of Chargers here, not that many cars. The sign says, "Welcome to Oklahoma." Oklahoma, here I am. Still got another 70 miles or so to the lake turnoff. Just got license scanned and all sorts of other scanned on that overhead. So a lot of that's for trucks. Anyway, full self-driving's doing just fine, moving right along. 70 miles per hour speed limit here. We're going 77. It's, keeping up with the traffic, doing everything that I would expect it to do. Everything that I needed to do. I'm pretty much just sitting along for the ride, paying attention, listening to music, been listening to some audiobooks. Onwards I go, as Fish is on the radio. So I'm on my trip to New Mexico, and I'm at the Lake Eufaula campground, Deep Fork campground, and it's there's only one other camper in this loop, and there's something like 40 somewhat campsites or more in this loop and then there's other loops. So it's not a very popular place, but I guess it's because it's November. But it's not bad outside. It's 67 degrees. I'm plugged in to 50 amp, though it's only feeding me 32 amps. Though it says it's a 50 amp circuit, it's only giving 32 amps. So that's okay. I like it when it's 48. But as it is, I'll be fully charged at 7 hours, so that's 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't expect to leave by then anyway. Yeah, what am I paying for this? I'm paying $20, $21 I think after taxes. So that's it's the cost of a full charge. Easy on the highway. But instead, on top of that, I get access to restrooms, heated restrooms, flush toilets, and a comfortable, safe place to sleep. In the Model Y, I'm looking up underneath the trees. Some starry sky up there right now. No moon. And it's nice. So that's what's happening. Again, it's 9:30. I'm going to bed, which is right back there.